Hello everybody, I'm Noel Malodonien. I'm a researcher in the group of Professor Natasha Prujol at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center, and today I'm going to present you the result of a phenotype integrative approach that we apply for the study of a rare hereditary thrombophilia. So the disease that we are going to have a look at today is called antithrombin resistance, which is a rare subtype of hereditary thrombophilia. It is caused by mutations in the prothrombin gene, and it can lead to thrombotic disorders, so blood clots. Because it is a rare disease, the data are scarce. It means that we cannot apply the traditional genome-wide association studies to uncover potential disease genes. Hence, there is a need for an integrative approach to boost the genomic signal. The data that we are going to have a look at is based on the full genome sequences of 5 subjects that come from 2 Serbian families, and that is presented on the figure in the right. So the second family, we have 2 sisters that have the phenotype of the disease, but more interestingly, for the first family, we have 2 brothers. One has the phenotype of the disease, but the second one seems to be healthy. But this supposedly healthy brother has a daughter which has the phenotype of the disease, which means that in fact the brother is actually carrying some of the disease-causing genes or may possess additional mutated genes that protect him from that rare thrombophilia. So to study this rare type of thrombophilia, we propose a non-negative matrix tree factorization method to integrate the germline mutation profiles of the patients together with 3 molecular interaction networks, protein-protein interactions, co-expression and genetic interactions, as well as taking into account of the observed phenotypes. The idea is that by leveraging the co-clustering interpretation of non-negative matrix tree factorization, we are going to obtain clusters of genes that correspond both to densely connected models of the molecular network, as well as to sets of genes that are enriched in either genes that are mutated only in the healthy brother and that may protect him, or that are mutated only for the diseased individual so that they can contain genes that are actually driving the disease. So this is in these network models that we are going to have a look at the genes that can explain the observed phenotypes. On this slide, so we have 2 results. On the left, we had a look at the cluster of genes that is only enriched in genes that are mutated in the healthy brother and that could be maybe protecting him. And we had a look in particular at the neighborhood of the only known thrombophilia-related gene in this model, which is SLC25A10, presented in the center of the figure. And as you can see on its neighborhood, there are genes represented in blue that are mutated only for the healthy brother. So it's in this set of genes that we can find disease protective mutations. And so that corresponds to genes like CD320, DHRC7, EPN1, etc. And we had a look at the literature, and these genes can actually be protective of thrombophilia. On the other hand, on the right figure, we had a look at the cluster that is the most enriched in genes that are mutated only for the diseased individual. And in this network model, we had a look at the neighborhood of the only thrombophilia genes that is known in the literature, which is TGFB1. And again, in its neighborhood, you can see in red this time the genes that are mutated only for the diseased individual. And again, in these genes, we checked in the literature and found again genes that can be potentially driving the thrombophilia disorder. So indeed, we were able to uncover interesting genes that we can validate in the literature, but these genes need to be further validated by wet lab experiment. So as a conclusion, we propose the data integration method based on non-negative matrix tree factorization that helps us uncovering molecular mechanism of a rare type of hereditary thrombophilia. It allows us to find candidate genes, but these genes need to be further validated. However, the result shows that we can overcome the scarcity of germline mutation profiles by integrating them together with molecular omics data. So in other words, we can apply our integrative framework to study any type of rare disease. So I would like to finish by thanking you, as well as thanking the research group at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center. And as a side note, I would like to say that we are currently hiring people. So if you're interested, we have open positions for postdocs, PhD students, and research engineers. Thanks.